Maybe it is not love, maybe it is fear dressed as urgency, and that silently changes everything inside you right now. You call care what tightens, holds, and watches because the imagined loss feels unbearable even though it has not happened yet. There is a question you avoid allowing to appear. The answer could dismantle old stories, stories that sustain your fragile hope. In the silence of the nights, the body knows first. A subtle unrest moves through ancient memories. You feel that you need to stay, even when something hurts. Leaving feels like losing a part of yourself. The thought returns in circles. You justify absences. You forgive excesses. You try to save an image that was never whole. There are brief moments of tenderness. They reignite internal promises. You cling like a castaway. But when the presence moves away, emptiness appears. A sharp emptiness, almost physical, like an echo of ancient abandonment. You promise patience. You promise understanding. You promise maturity. Inside, a faceless anxiety grows. It demands constant control. No one sees the silent negotiation. The repeated concessions remain hidden. You try to maintain harmony, but it always escapes. There is fear of being too much. There is fear of being too little. There is fear of not being chosen. So you remain. You try to love better. You believe intensity convinces someone to stay. Behind the effort, something observes. Tired, but attentive, waiting for the moment of truth. The pain is not only about the other. The pain is about ancient internal deserts. They open again without warning. Recognizing this may be the first movement, a silent movement, still invisible, toward something more true. Notice how the pattern returns. Waves striking the same rock, stories that seem new, but are old. You encounter different faces. The familiar sensation reappears. A known echo demands urgent closeness. There are silent internal promises, oaths of never losing. They turn care into vigilance. They turn presence into control. The mirror of the relationship shows your expressions, your fears, your needs, everything reflected in the other. When he moves away, you feel yourself disappearing. Your existence seems to depend on the attention received. So you try to move closer. You try to please. You try to adapt. You reshape yourself. You believe love requires sacrifice. A sacrifice that erases your own shape. There is an invisible dance between control and fear. The more you hold, the more it slips away. What you desire slides between your fingers. Emptiness appears as a threat. You run to fill it. Messages appear. Promises appear. Explanations appear. You try to silence internal absences. Behind attachment, there is an ancient insecurity, perhaps forgotten. It finds in the other a chance to rest, but the rest never arrives. The source is outside. The outside changes, the outside oscillates, the outside disappears, so the cycle continues. Hope followed by tension, brief relief followed by anxiety, like interrupted breathing. You believe you love deeply, something inside whispers doubt. Maybe it is fear of losing again. The reflection does not accuse, the reflection reveals. It shows your internal story. It converses with the presence of the other. When you perceive it, discomfort arises, a mixture of sadness and lucidity. Hard to name, very real. This recognition is like looking at a still lake. You see the bottom for the first time. It was always there. The revelation begins when you understand something simple. Attachment is not born from love. It is born from wounds seeking safety. The unconscious keeps ancient images, loss, abandonment, rejection. It reacts as if the present were a repetition of the past. You try to control the other because you cannot contain internal anxiety. It threatens to break fragile defenses. In the language of the psyche, the partner carries something of yours, a projected image. It seeks completeness. This projection creates intense fascination. It creates dependence. What seems like love is an unconscious bond. When the other fails, the image cracks. Disproportionate despair appears, as if a part of you were threatened. At this point, possible awareness emerges. The intensity reveals more about you, less about the other. As Jung wrote, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." That reveals an inner direction. Awakening does not mean losing the other. It means recovering forgotten parts, separating childish need from adult connection. Pain becomes a symbolic message. It indicates neglected internal territories. They ask for recognition, not external guarantees. You begin to notice something new. Loving does not require imprisonment. Freedom does not mean inevitable abandonment. The conflict reveals two movements. One clings out of fear, another desires true encounter. Perceiving the duality begins internal dialogue. Parts of you can be seen, parts of you can be heard. Awareness does not eliminate feeling. It transforms your relationship with it. Thus, attachment reveals its true face. It is not failed love. It is a request for psychic integration. When something is seen clearly, tension decreases, like a knot slowly loosening. You realize you can remain within yourself, even in the face of the other's absence. Breathing finds internal space. The heart slows down, not because everything is solved, but because something found a place inside silence. Loving begins to mean shared presence, not necessary fusion, a possible meeting between two worlds. There is quiet peace when you accept something. No one completes anyone. They only accompany. That can be enough. Fear still visits, but finds fewer walls to echo. Now there is awareness illuminating internal corridors. You learn to feel without losing yourself. You learn to desire without demanding. You learn to wait without abandoning your root. The relationship becomes a field of encounter, not a battlefield. Differences exist without threatening identity. And if the other leaves, something remains. You do not disappear anymore. There is a silent ocean inside. Emotions come and go. The depth remains stable. In that depth, there is a calm mirror. It reflects who you are, without distortions of ancient fear. If this thought touched something in you, write in the comments the word presence, because it is in conscious presence that attachment transforms, revealing possible love between free beings. Remain for a few moments in silence. Feel the breath touching your chest, like a gentle wave returning to the same place. And let this image remain, like distant light over the night sea, continuing to vibrate inside you in silence.